take standing up. Not much good for sitting down. Down there, maybe.
Go here. Alright. 4 buttons for the scoreboard. There's
Well, good afternoon, everybody. We are down here at the Riverside pitch, home of the Iowa Central Triton rugby team. Today's visitors are Iowa State University, the Cyclone rugby squad. It's the first time they've been up to Fort Dodge for a game. We're very excited to have them here. I'll be your host for the game today. My name is Coach Michael Hurst. Generally known as Chef. Triton's wearing their home blue strip today. Cyclones in their red and yellow. It's about 68 degrees. Slight breeze heading up from the south. Could interfere with the kicking game today. Iowa Central look like they won the toss. And they'll be kicking off. Tate Nelson with the drop start. I think we're in for a great day of rugby. Triton's second home game. They won their first one against Western Iowa Tech. 81-8. And they're kicking off. Little spill by Iowa State. And a knock on. Once the ball has been tapped forward, off the hand, the possession goes to the opposition team. That's known as a knock on. Okay. Sound changed in my ears. First scrum of the game. 16 strong, powerful young men. There's a lot of power in that scrum. Iowa Central with the ball. Stolen by Iowa State. Iowa State gaining ground. Strong running from number 4. Set it up. I think it's been stolen. Stolen by Central. Picked up by CJ. Victor Wong. Number 8 driving forward. Good strong running by Darryl Couch. Whistle's going ball out of play on the far side. It'll be an Iowa State line out. The opening exchange of the game was always a little bit messy. A lot of adrenaline rush out there. These two teams already have history. Iowa Central went down and defeated both the Iowa State teams, the A team and the B team. So I know they've come up to give us a really hard game today. So here we go. State on the ball. Spinning out to the backs. Strong running by number 14. Cyclone ball. Penalty to Iowa State. Iowa Central took the ball out. Not from behind, they came in from the side. So when you get a penalty, you can kick for touch, put the ball out of play, and you also get the line out throw into your team. So you get to say where it's going to go, who's going to be lifted. So the majority of the time, the team with the penalty will then retain the ball from their own line out. Iowa Central won't know where this throw is going to. They just have to compete. Iowa State's ball. Missed pass there. Missed tackle as well. A little bit scrappy. There's been a knock on by Iowa State, so Iowa Central will get the put in at the scrum. Nice little crowd out here today. I can see close to 100 people on the far side of on the far touchline there. Parents, teammates, college buddies. It's good to see a good crowd out here enjoying this wonderful sport. Iowa Central with a put in. Out to the Iowa Central wing. He's a little bit isolated. Iowa State went in off their feet. You have to stay on your feet to retrain the ball. You can't put your hands down on the ground and bridge over. Iowa Central will have a penalty. Looks like they're going to run it. Spilled forward. Iowa State have possession. Iowa State attacking the right-hand side. Another knock-on and another knock-on. So the referee there signals knock-ons for both sides, but he'll take the first infringement, which was the knock-on by Iowa State. That's an Iowa Central scrum down. So the scrum is okay. The scrum was a pushing match, really, between 8 of our Iowa Central gentlemen and 8 of the Cyclone Rugby boys there. The ball goes down the middle of the channel and it's allowed to be hooked back. Obviously the advantage is your own team knows when it's going in with a signal, a tap. Iowa Central attacking the near-sided touchline. Drive forward by Victor Wong, number 8 for Iowa Central. Good strong rucking. And the ball is spun out wide. Missed pass though. And into touch. Quite a tight first 5 minutes of this game. A few errors. Both teams sizing each other up. That'll be a line out to a line out throw in from the sideline for Iowa State. Wind seems to be picking up. It'll probably play an important part in this game, the wind. It can affect the penalty kicks, the extra point kicks, and generally kicking out of hand during the game. That's a lost ball. That's gone to Tritons. James tackle, a high tackle there. There'll be a warning for that. You're not allowed to tackle above the shoulders in rugby. That's considered dangerous and high, so we have a penalty to the Tritons. Kick for touch from that penalty, so the line-out will go to Iowa Central. That was a kick by Ali, the winger at Iowa Central. Ali Mohammed. He wanted to be a boxer, but he put his name the other way around. No, he's a superstar for the Tritons. Great player, very fast, a very good kicker. An infringement by the Cyclones. Hanging on to the ball. That's a penalty for the Tritons.
Go, Chris.
So again, kicking for touch. Ball stayed in play. Didn't go out of play. So Iowa Central giving up possession. Some strong running there by the Cyclones. They recycle the ball well. Spinning out to their backs. Some missed tackles by Iowa Central. I think the Cyclones are in for a try, unless there's a late tackle. Try has been scored. So a try in rugby is worth 5 points. That's a 5-0 start for the Iowa State Cyclones. Some poor tackling there by the Tritons. They'll have to improve. rugby, the extra points, which the extra kick is worth 2 points, but you have to take that kick in a direct line back out into the field from where the try was scored, where the ball was put down in the try zone. So you can see number 9 for Iowa State is taking the extra point kick. He has the wind behind his back, but it went wide on the right, so no extra points there, so it stays. Iowa State Cyclones 5, Iowa Central Tritons 0. Once a team has scored points, you also receive the kick back. So it'll be the Tritons who kick off, giving the ball back to Iowa State. That's the bonus for scoring points in rugby. You always receive the ball again. So Tate Nelson with the restart. This is a drop kick. The ball will bounce first, then he kicks. Hoists it high in the air. Give his players time to try and get underneath it. Oh, several missed tackles. And the Cyclones are on the attack again. That's a great tackle by Darryl Couch. Needed to hang on to the player, though. In rugby, you have to wrap up in the tackle. You need to encase your opponent with your arms and bring them down by wrapping up their legs. Tritons have the ball. Christian charging forward there for the Tritons. Forwards have possession. In goes Coulter. Strong drive. Coulter Johnson there. A little bit messy. A little bit messy. Central rucking over the ball. Again, the Cyclones penalised for diving in. Ali Mohammed with the kick. Into touch. Iowa Central will have the throw in. Very close game so far. We've had about 11 minutes. Only the one score. 5-0 to Iowa State. And time off. We're having a substitution here. Substitution for the Cyclones. Referee's time always goes off when there's a substitution. Looks like number 1 off and number 21 on for Iowa State. The numbers are matching up in the line out. Must have equal numbers of opposition players in the line out too. That's a Triton ball. They'll spin it out quickly to the backs. Bit clumsy. Need to tidy that up. And they do. They've got their forwards there. The art of this game is to protect the ball and keep possession. We have a penalty against Iowa Central. Again, looks like they were coming off their feet. So the Cyclones will kick for a territorial advantage. Or maybe not. They're going to run it. It's a running play. Another missed tackle by the Tritons. Cyclone ball. That's a strong challenge by Shondell Williams. and by Victor Wong. Great tackle. That's the art of rugby tackling. Tackle low and hard. And the Tritons have stolen it. Forwarded on by CJ. That should be a penalty. It is, yeah. You must get back on your feet, release the tackler, and the young man there, he stayed on his knees and still held on to the tackle player. You can't do that in rugby. You have to get up onto your feet before you can re-enter and re-attack the ball. So simple errors by the Tritons. They had a penalty and they knocked it on. So they knocked the ball forward. Once the ball's knocked forward, possession will end up with the opposition. So scrum down, Iowa State ball. Center of the field. Drive and turn by the Tritons. So the Tritons were winning possession of that scrum with their shove. And they're running it with the backs. They're going to get possibly isolated out there. And he knocked it on. Scrum down. Knock on by Iowa Central. It's a Triton put in. No, it'll be, sorry, a Cyclone put in. Score from the last game? It was 22-16. It was a very close game the last time these two sides met down in Ames. The A team, I think, was I'm going to say maybe 25-16. Very close game. Might have even been closer than that. $26-15. It's always more fun when someone knows what they're talking about. I've got a wonderful assistant here. So Iowa State put in. Tritons driving that scrum back well. Great tackling. Oh, offside. So the scrum half for Iowa Central. James came in offside there. You have to be behind the ball on the game line. He crept too far around that scrum. There's a long kick by the Cyclones. That's gained them 30, 40, maybe more yardage up the far side there. So they'll have the line out. It'll be their throw-in. That's the corner to kick for in the first half. There's a good strong southerly wind here blowing the ball up the field. And the Cyclones taking full advantage of that. Territorial advantage and throw-in advantage now to the Cyclones. Stolen ball by Tritons. Picked up by Ali. Driving forward, needs his help. There it is. That was well stolen ball by the Tritons. Victor Wong driving in, doing their best to suck in as many defenders as they can to create some space out wide. Another surge forward by the Tritons. Shondell Williams driving forward. That wasn't a wraparound tackle by the look of it. It didn't release the tackler. That was the signal from the referee there. So once you tackle a man, he's down the ground, you have to release the tackler. Ali Mohammed with a kick. And he hasn't found touch. That's not gone out of play, that's in play. Picked up by the Cyclones. Good strong tackle by Ali. That's it, he rolled away. Leave the tackler. Cyclone with the ball. Good strong running by number 4. Recycled ball for the Cyclones. Good strong tackling. There's better tackling by the Tritons now. Good tackle by Coulter. And that's to be a Triton penalty. Once you're tackled, you have to set the ball back and release it. And the signal there from the referee was the Cyclone was hanging onto the ball on the ground, not allowing the play to continue. And a substitution before the penalty can be taken. That's a good long kick by Ali. Found touch. It'll be a Triton throw-in. That's a gain of about 35 yards. A great kick. Using that southerly wind to their advantage as well. Kicking towards that far touchline. You'll see the side judge this side here is making sure you have to be 10 metres back from a line out if you're the back line. The number 9, the scrum half, can be closer to the line out, but the rest of your back line has to be 10 metres back. Stolen ball by the Cyclones again. Tritons struggling to retain possession here. Cyclones on the attack. Stolen by the Tritons, but again, poor rucking by the Iowa Central again. Lost the possession. Cyclones on the attack. They've got men out wide. Fortunately for the Tritons, they didn't go that route. Scrappy play at the moment. Recycle ball for the Iowa State Cyclones. Strong handoff there by Jabari Leopold. More mishandling by the Tritons, unfortunately. Stolen ball. Looks like a penalty though. High tackle. Again, in rugby, the tackle must be below the shoulders. Anything above the shoulders can slide up to the neck. That's considered dangerous play. And the referee will call a penalty on you. That kick has stayed in play. Romello Webster charging up the field, chasing his kick down. Some better tackling by the Tritons there. That's a good tackle. The Tritons are pushing the Cyclones back a little bit here. Need some support in there. And a penalty, another penalty. Successive penalties now for Iowa Central. Some ill discipline by the Cyclones there. So the kick went too far, went into the end zone. Referee's marked it back 5 metres. It'll be a 5 metre line out. Triton ball. Ben Hale with the throw in. Triton's looking to grab this. Lost possession though. Need to put some pressure on the Cyclones now. Driving them backwards. Oh, a wild and dangerous pass. I think Yes, a try for Rashid. Rashid Carney in the corner there. Stole the possession off the Cyclones. That's 5 points scored for the Iowa Central Tritons. That ties it up, 5-5. Yeah, coach from the Iowa Central Cyclones looking frustrated with that one. I think he's going to come back big and strong. I know he is. Good rivalry between these two teams. This game's always played in good spirits. So some stolen possession there by Rashid Carney. Scored right in the corner, which means the kick has to be again. Right in the corner. So he's Ali Mohammed's out on the 22, but with the angle, it's probably more like a 35 meter kick. Strong wind up from the south. This worth 2 extra points if he can make it. He's got the good height. A little bit short. Nope, didn't make it. A good effort. So after 24 minutes, it's tied up at 5 points each. The time for the halves in rugby, they're 2 40-minute halves. And they'll have about 5 minutes between at the interval. So there's no real offense or defense. The same 15 guys will be out there for the whole game. Give or take a few substitutions for injuries or tiredness. So again, the Cyclones will restart. Iowa Central with a chance to win the ball back, regroup. The ball's in the air. Looks like Romello's underneath that. Stolen by the Cyclones though. Stolen possession by the Tritons. Tate Nelson charging forward, number 2 there, setting the ball up. Loose ball out to the Triton backs. That should be blue ball. Triton still have possession, driving forward. Set up by scrum half, number 17. We have another penalty. The referee's calling offside. So the Iowa State Cyclone defenders there crept ahead of the play, and they were too far ahead of the ball when they were coming to tackle. In rugby, you pass backwards, and if you step over where that pass was, you're ahead of the ball, and the opposition have got, you'll be called for being offside. Kick for touch by Romello. So Iowa Central will have the throw in at the line out. So the Tritons with the line out. Ben Hale with the throw in. He'll be throwing. Tritons win the ball. Darrell Couch with it. He's a great runner of the ball, very athletic young man. He's heading towards the try line. I think he could be in for the 5 points. He is. Great try there. Well scored. Darrell Speed Demon Coucher. Number 16. That's very strong running by that young man. Very athletic. So that resets the scoreboard now to the Tritons 10, Iowa State Cyclones 5. Ali Mohammed has the chance for 2 extra points. And because Darrell scored right underneath the posts, the kick will be straight on.
Anybody need a break?
Generally preferred, if you can, try and score the try, actually touching the ball down between the posts, because that will give your kicker a much greater chance of success with the 2 extra points. He's battling a fairly strong southerly wind though. Kicker short. Got under that one, unfortunately. Put a bit too much backspin on it. So it remains 10-5 to the Tritons. 2 tries to 1. We're about 27, 28 minutes into the first half. The crowd is still growing down here. More and more coming to see the home of Triton Rugby. Only their second game here. First game we had a good crowd of about 120, 150 people here. Well supported. And a good following already for this new sport that's come to Iowa and come to Iowa Central. Strong running by Jabari Leopold. Ben Hale spills the ball forward. It's a knock-on advantage to the Cyclones. Fortunately, might be another knock-on. There's still advantage being played. The referee's playing advantage. Now a penalty, I believe, to the Tritons. There was hands used on the ground. You can't use, if you're lying on the ground, you cannot use your hands to scoop the ball back. You have to be on your feet. So that's a penalty to the Cyclones. They'll kick for touch. And they found it. That's another good 30-yard kick up the field. I'm sure the Cyclone forwards enjoyed jogging up that far. Putting the pressure back on the Tritons now. Tritons close to their 22-meter line. And it'll be a Cyclone throw-in. Not the easiest job to do with this strong wind down here, as you can probably hear. The flags are very blustery down here, pitch side. Cyclone ball, well caught. Setting up with the forwards. And it's out to their backs. That's a knock-on. Referee's whistle's gone. That's a knock-on. And it'll be a scrum down with a Triton put in at the scrum. Quite a spectacle to see down here. These two rugby sides playing in Fort Dodge. Makes an English rugby player very proud. Growing sport across America, obviously an Olympic sport now as well. This is the 15-a-side version that we're watching here. They also play 7-a-side version, which some of you would have seen England and the US doing very well in the Olympics. Darryl Couch on the far side. Maisie runner. Great turn of speed. Looking for some support now. Looking for support. Here's Rashid Carney. Strong handoff. Looking to come inside. Ball's inside. Taken by the Cyclones. A kick upfield. A kick and chase. Picked up by number 12. Jared. He's looking for some support. He needs some runners with him. He needs some help. Release. No, he hasn't done, I don't know. Have the Tritons lost possession? Looks like they have. Stolen by Iowa State, but a penalty. Penalty awarded to the Tritons. So that signal there from the referee, they were diving in over the top, not allowing the player to get back on his feet. So you have to stay on your feet at the point of contact. If you come off your feet and dive over the ball, it's considered killing the play. You have to stay on your feet. The penalty was called for diving over the top, which basically is covering bodies over the ball, which will kill the play for the other team when they have possession. Tritons with the throw in, lost possession though. Won by Cyclones. Missed tackle. There's a knock on there. Iowa Central will have a scrum. Pretty central in the field. This will be a chance for those forwards to see what they can do. A lot of power in that. There's two sides. you listen. So 8 against 8. Binding on there. You'll see James put the ball down the centre, hooked back by the Tritons, and those forwards are holding and shoving. Darrell Couch on the wing. Could be into the far corner for another try. He is. Try given. 15-10 to the Tritons. Some quick ball out. Darrell Couch for his second try of the game in the corner. Tritons lead 15-10. It's about 34 minutes gone. 15-5. What did I say? 15-10? 15-10 to the Tritons. Not many players can count. Former players can count. So Ali Mohammed with the extra point attempt. Way on the far side of the pitch there. Kicking into a very strong wind. Almost blowing straight into his face. You can just see it's blowing the ball over. So they use a kicking tee. Securing that ball into its position. You have approximately about a minute to take the extra points. Obviously in strong winds they'll be a little bit lenient if they have problems setting the ball. Not got the legs on that one, unfortunately. Had the height but not the legs. Very hard into that strong wind. So the extra points are missed. And the score is Iowa Central Tritons 15, Iowa State Cyclones 5. So the restart will be by the Cyclones. With the Tritons the opportunity to regain possession from the kickoff. A drop kick. Once again the ball will be dropped on the ground. Scooped high up in the air, trying to get your players underneath it. That's caught by Willie. Great catch, great catch. Now he's looking for some support. Spinning it wide if they can. Oh, another drop pass by the Tritons. Chance for a turnover on possession there for the Cyclones, which they have. They have a scrum down. It'll be Cyclone put in. That signal there by the referee was the knock-on signal. So the Triton player knocked it forward. Instead of catching it cleanly, they knocked the ball on, out of possession, out of their hands, knocked it forward. So a Cyclone scrum. They're right on the Iowa Central Tritons 22-meter line. So the offensive players here are in a nice steep angle for the Cyclones. They're looking to spin the ball out. Stolen by the Tritons though. That young man will need some support. Out to Ali Mohammed. He'll need some help too. Jabari Leopold in there rucking. Should be a Triton ball. Picked up by Ben Hale, driving forward. Keeping possession. That was a very late hit, I believe. Young man came from the offside position. Caught the scrum half. That'll be a Triton penalty. So again, came in from an offside position to put the tackle on. Monster kick by Romello. Romello Webster, huge boot. That's pushed him up a good 25, 30 metres. And he was right in the centre of the field, which is always a lot harder to reach the touchline from there. So it's a very tricky wind for the kickers today. Iowa Central without their English fly half today, Matt Barker. He's carrying an injury. Tritons running a play here. Rashid Khani down on the ground, needs support. Another penalty. Coming around from the offside position again. You have to come in from behind where the action is, where the ruck starts. The ruck is the formation. Once a tackle's happened and two players are involved, a ruck forms. And you must come in from behind your own player, not from around the side or from where the blue shirts are if you're red shirts. You have to come in from behind your own players. That kick didn't make touch. There's a knock on there. And now the ball's found touch. There's a knock on. It'll be a Triton scrum. Referee took the first infringement there. We're about 37 minutes into the game. So this will be a scrum down, Triton ball. So again, they'll have a signal. So their hooker, the hooker is the guy in the middle of the front three there. His job is to hook the ball back with his heel, with his foot. You'll see James putting in the hook back there. Triton secured the ball behind their blue players there. Out it comes to the backs. Ali Mohammed. Jared. Quick hands, there's Willie on the outside, looking for support though. He needs to get up, he's got up, he's picked it up, that's fine. He needs support. There's hands in the ruck, referee has signalled a penalty. Penalty goes to the Tritons. Sorry, don't go to the Cyclones. So the Tritons use their hands in the ruck. And again, you must drive over the ball. Stay on your feet, you mustn't use your hands. You can use your feet to hook the ball back. So just a 10-metre game from the kick there. But it'll be a Cyclone throw-in. Again, they'll have the call. They'll know. Now in the line-outs here, you'll see that some of the jumpers get assisted by the players either side of them. You're allowed to lift a player up to challenge for the catch. That's won by the Cyclones. A bit scrappy though. Ben Hale in with the tackle. That's laid back nicely. And the Cyclones have possession. Some nice steps by number 7. That's stolen by the Tritons. Number 23, Romello. Should be Triton ball. Another knock on. And that's half-time, right on 40 minutes. Half-time score is the Iowa Central Tritons 15, Iowa State Cyclones 5. There'll be about a 5-minute half-time break. Substitutions are allowed at half-time. So a lot of errors in the first half from both sides, plenty of knock-ons. A significant number of penalties being awarded by the referee, offsides. So these are two young teams. This is an emerging team from Iowa State. They brought most of their B team up with some A team players. And again, this is the first year of the program for head coach Brent Nelson and the Iowa Central Rugby squad. There are about 35, 36 boys in that squad. Done very well so far this season. They've played a number of top programs, had good results, managed to already beat Iowa State, UNI, and Iowa, all on road trips. But we're going to leave you for a couple of minutes to have a half-time cup of tea and a nice cookie. And we'll see you back here for the second half in a moment. All right, the teams are lined up for the start of the second half, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. It'll be the Iowa State Cyclones to kick off. Kicking with a bit of that southerly wind behind their backs there. Tritons receiving. Scores 15-5. And we're underway. Shondell Williams under that one. Good catch, good strong running. Now he needs support. And it's out. There's Christian. Driving strongly forward. That's Cyclone ball again. No, it's Triton ball. My bad. Triton ball. Missed pass. A drop catch. He needs some help. That's the third high tackle called on the Cyclones. That signal there's a high tackle. Romello Webster going to try and put his laces through this. Gain some ground for the Tritons. You got about 10 meters maybe on that one. Not the best kick, but it's still Triton ball. They'll have the throw in at the line out. Ben Hale with the throw, number 27 there. So each side matches up. If Iowa Central have 6 in the line out or 7 in the line out, the opposition must do the same. Shondell comes out, 6 in the line out, so Iowa State must do the same. Match up 6 against 6. Tritons will have the call. Good ball, good, well won. There's possession now. Oh dear. Need quicker hands. Out to Darryl Couch. He's tackled. Sets the ball up. There's a penalty to the Cyclones. Not releasing the ball. He held on to it in the tackle. You're given about a second and a half to go down with the ball and then set it back for your teammates to ruck over. Rucking is where you just step over the ball and be strong. But Darryl had lack of support there, so he held on to the ball in the tackle. The penalty was awarded against him. So it'll be a Cyclone throw-in from the line out. Again, you can have as few as 3 men or even 2 men in a line out if you so wish, but a maximum of 8. There's 8 in the set of forwards there. You have your front 3 props and a hooker. You have your second row, generally 2 big guys. Your number 8 is normally the tallest guy on the field. And then you have your 2 wing flankers. You should be dynamic tacklers and good runners of the ball. That's still Cyclone ball. There's a knock on, but it came off a leg there, so I think the referee will let that go. That's recycled back nicely. We've got a missed tackle there. Well tackled by Jabari Leopold. Ball's out. There it is. Cyclone ball. Well stolen by number 10. Good drive by Victor. They came in from the side. Didn't come in from the back. They came in from the side. They must come from the back. Iowa Central have to get back on their own goal line. Pressure's on now for the Tritons. They need a good low tackle there, and they got it. Great tackle. There's a knock on there and a second knock on, but no, the referee's letting it play. Number 9's handling. Oh, I don't know. I think that could be called. That probably should be a penalty. It is a penalty to the Tritons. Number 9 failing to release after he went down. He kept rolling with the ball. You can't do that. And there's a big boot there from Romello Webster. So it'll be a line out to the Tritons. Ben Hale had the throw in again. Good running there by Rashid Khani. That's been knocked forward, loose, stolen by the Cyclones. Clumsy play again by the Tritons, unfortunately. Good tackling though, one back by Romello. That's a good run forward. He needs to roll over and then push the ball back. That's a penalty to the Cyclones. Romello penalised for not releasing the ball. Oh, there was an initial knock-on there, so the referees brought it back to the first infringement, which was the knock-on. Clouds getting a little grey over here. We had a very pleasant cup of tea and a little biscuit at half-time. Got to have a cup of tea. So here it's Triton ball in. Number 17, James, the scrum half. Needs to dig that out. He's done so. Got caught, though, by his opposite number. Needs to get on his feet. Didn't release. Once you're tackled, you're down on your knees. You must release the ball. James didn't. Penalised. Cyclones gone for the kick for touch, and they found it. That'll be a Cyclone throw-in from that line out. They got possession inside the Triton 22. Now the defending players must be 10 metres back from the line out. Scrum half's allowed to be close, the rest have to be 10 metres back. The officials either side with the flags, they're making sure that happens. Cyclones have their backs nice and steep so they can spin the ball out. Give them time to get the ball to their quick guys. The Tritons will come up flat. I believe that was a not straight at the throw-in. If the throw's not straight. Oh, he's given a free kick there. So this can't go straight for touch. It'll need to bounce. It's not a penalty. If they kick it straight out, then the Cyclones will get the throw-in at the line-out. It's a free kick. So it's a minor infringement. Well, they got rocked out of that one completely, the Tritons. That was not good. Cyclones looking very strong at the moment. Rocking hard, playing hard. Penalty against the Tritons. Didn't roll away from the tackle. The referee's going to call that. So when you tackle a man, you must get out of there as quickly as possible. You must make a major effort to get clear. That's a knock on, and that'll be a Triton put in at the next scrum. It was spilled in the tackle by the Cyclones. They knocked it forward, so the ball possession will come to the Tritons. That'll be a put in. They're being pinned in their own 22 at the moment. Cyclones are putting the pressure on. Score still 15-5 to the Tritons. We have a substitution. Looks like Brandon Egger's coming on. And Christian's going off. So a little move around there in the positions of the players and with the Tritons. Victor Wong's gone into prop. Ben Hale, number 8. And looks like Brandon's gone in the second row. Braden Egger. Oh, it's been stolen. So we have to transition now to defence for the Tritons. Poor pass. There's a knock on there. Referee's playing advantage to the Tritons. None taken, so the referee will award a scrum. A scrum down again. Got a clock. So we're about 6-7 minutes into the second half. No score yet. Still 15-5 to the Tritons. The pitch is in great condition for this game. The wind has dried it out a bit. Triton ball, spinning it out. They're going to try and run something from their own goal line. There goes Willie. He's got some speed, and he's got some tackle too. So he took the ball out of play in the tackle. That'll be a Cyclone throw in from the line out. Well, there's what appears to be a knock on there. A little bit scrappy. The Cyclones took that throw really quickly. The Tritons forgot to mark the throw. The throw in is marked when there's more than one player there. So they're able to take a quick throw in, and you can throw it behind. It doesn't have to be a straight throw. If you're taking a quick throw in and the line out hasn't been called, you can throw it in straight or behind your own players. Here's a scrum then, right in front of us here in the commentary box. Triton ball. Put the ball out quickly to Darryl Couch. Little shimmy, a little step. He needs to go forward, looking for some help. Rashid Carney with him. Jabari Leopold looking to go forward. Back with Darryl Couch again. Now we need some support there. Scrum half looking for the ball, digging it out. That's well rucked by Cyclones though. Causing problems for the Tritons. It's a very physical head-to-head up there with the forwards. Scrum down though, it'll be a Cyclone. Looking like the ref's giving that to the Tritons. It's a Triton put in. Change with the put in. Stolen. No, came straight out. So the ball must go down the channel into the scrum. Occasionally he'll go in and hit the first foot of the scrum and pop out from the side there. So the referee will reset this scrum. As I was saying, the usual fly half, number 10 for Iowa Central, Matt Barker, who hails from England, is out injured today. So Ali Mohammed is filling in that gap at fly half. There's Zach driving forward, number 13. Needs a bit of help though. Not enough bodies there to help him. Need to dig that out, the Tritons. Brandon Eggers looking to drive forward, number 22. Gaining some ground. There's his support. He's in. I think they're in for a try. Cyclone score. He's looking to put it under the posts. 5 points added. Iowa Central 15. The Iowa State Cyclones 10. Chance for 2 extra points, and the kick's right in front of the posts. That try was scored about 14-15 minutes into the second half. Extra points available. The kick is good. 2 extra points scored. Closes the gap down to just 3. It's Iowa Central Tritons 15. The Iowa State Cyclones 12. Only 3 points in it. Tight game. Very tight game, just like the last time these two teams met down in Ames. The Tritons came out on top that time. And trust me, the Cyclones have come here for revenge. We should be for an explosive last 20-25 minutes. So, Tritons with the kickoff. Cyclones will receive the ball. Tate Nelson will drop kick this off. Trying to get nice height under it so his players can get there. It's a great kick. There's a knock on. The pressure came from the rushing forwards. Pressure came on, there's a knock on. No, the referee's given a penalty. Obstruction. So if you run into your own player and hide behind him from the restart, from the catch, and you run and use one of your own players to block, that's considered obstruction, and a penalty will be called against you. So you cannot use your own players as protection, blockers to some extent. That'll be called as obstruction. Penalty went to the Tritons. Romello found touch. Left-hand side touch here. It'll be a Triton throw-in. They're back in attacking area now for trying to get some points against the Cyclones. Jared Fisher's just come on. Substitute Rashid Khani heading out. Looks like the throw-in wasn't straight. Referee's calling a scrum. You have an option when the opposing side doesn't throw the ball in straight at the line out. You can either call for your own line out, or you can call for a scrum. Iowa State chose the scrum option. It'll be their put in at the scrum. So we're deep in Iowa State territory for the Tritons, but Iowa State have possession. That's a strong drive by the Tritons though. Put the pressure on the forwards. There's a knock on just there. Referee calls it back. Now Tritons have possession at the scrum. We're about 10 metres from the Iowa State try line. A good position to be for the Tritons. If their forwards can do well here, win this ball, take it themselves or get it out to their quick guys on the out wide. Jabari's there, Willie, Ali, Zach, Jarek and Darryl. They've got some pace, these Tritons. They need some ball. They need some possession. It's one. It's out. They've switched the play. Jabari's found a hole. Back with his forwards. Let's hope they can keep this. Ball's out. James needs some help. It's gone to Zach. There's an error. There's a knock on. The referee's called that. Handed possession back to the Cyclones. That was a shame. That was a shame. Clouds getting a little bit darker here. No sign of rain yet. The wind's definitely warm from the south. So it's a scrum down. It'll be Cyclone put in. Good drive by the Iowa Central Tritons. They've turned that all the way around. Made the Cyclones defensive. They turned the scrum. They won possession. Quick tap's been taken by James. Cyclones weren't back 10. They get it to go again. You must retreat 10 yards. So retreat 10 metres from the point where the referee has awarded the penalty. Now the Tritons are in striking range. I think he's in for the try. He is indeed. That was Kamani, I believe. Kamani McQueen, I believe, who's just come on as a substitute. Busted some holes through there. And it's a try to the Iowa Central Tritons. Lightning McQueen, they call him. Kamani Lightning McQueen. It's 20 points to Iowa Central Tritons, 12 to the Cyclones. Strong running there by McQueen. Ali with the extra points. He's lining up his kick. Kicking into the wind now, second half. It's blowing from his left to right. And the kick is good. 2 extra points to the Tritons. 22-12. The Tritons are leading the Cyclones. A 10-point lead now. That's at least 2 scores. Remember, it's 5 points for a try, 2 points for the conversion, the extra points. So a converted try is 7 points. So the Cyclones will need at least 2 scores to come back. We're about halfway through this second half, 20 minutes gone. Willie with the catch. Looking to find support. Brought down by the Cyclones. Victor Wong. Good strong running by Victor. Young man's done very well. Should be a Triton ball. James digging for it. Spun out nicely. Quick hands. Look at that. Beautiful passing. Let's go. Well tackled there by the Cyclones there. Well wrapped him up. That was good defence. That's a penalty. Off their feet again. So the Cyclones were penalised there for being off their feet, going over the top of the man who's got the ball. You need to stay on your feet. Romello Webster. Going for touch on the other side. Oh, he sliced that one a bit. Not pretty. He gained about 5-6 metres on that kick. Not normally kicking for touch, Mr. Romello. Matt Barker's normally is the man for that job. First home game we played here was against Western Iowa Tech, Iowa Central, and Matt kicked 10 for 10. 10 attempts for extra points for tries and 10 kicks. He also managed to score 1 or 2 tries himself that day as well. So he's a good all-round player, Matt. Missing him today. But Jabari at fly half and Ali doing the kicking are stepping up. Playing well for the Tritons. That seems to be looks like a knock-on. Knock-on by the Tritons. It'll be a Cyclone put in at this scrum. They're lined up. Good drive by the Tritons. Turning that scrum round again. Makes it very awkward for the Cyclones to get the ball out, and they've been turned all the way. I think some of the players came unbound then. You have to stay bound on in those situations, and they were peeling off rapidly, the Cyclones, because they felt they were in trouble at that scrum. So the penalty awarded to the Tritons. I think Romello will try and find some touch. There's Jabari. Kamani there. That's a knock-on, unfortunately. Zach dropped that. The referee will call that one back. So a little bit messy again by the Tritons. But we're leading 22-12 so far. 20 plus minutes gone. This will be a Cyclone put in at this scrum. The players crouch, the players set, and the ball's in. Another good strong scrum by the Tritons. Bit of return shoving that time though by Iowa State. Very messy touches in the backs there. Still going forward though, the Cyclones. That's spun out this way. Triton ball. Out to Darryl Couch. He's caught on the wing there. He needs to stay in bounds if he can. He needs support. That should be Triton ball, I hope. Not coming out of there. There's a knock-on. Knock-on by the Tritons. That'll be a Cyclone put in at the scrum. So as I said before, this is the 15-a-side version of rugby, which we play in the fall here at Iowa Central. And in the spring we play the 7-a-side version as well. So it is an all year round sport for these Triton players. And growing interest, which is great. It's a very physical game, very fast game, non-stop. These young gentlemen are very well conditioned. That'll be a penalty. Tritons take it quickly. James needs some support. He's got Rashid Carney on his left. That's been stolen. Oh, caught. Willie's out wide. He needs to come and find some support here too. That was not great. Rashid Carney's going to get caught. No, he's off. He's off. Well straightened up by Kamani. There's a couple of messy kicks there. I think there was a block return kick by the Tritons. There's another one that Iowa State trying to kick out of their the defensive zone. It's with Muhammad Ali Muhammad. Little sidestep. He's got caught though. He needs some support. Strong running by James. Spilled that pass out. There's Tate. Not releasing the ball quick enough. Tate Nelson penalised there. Penalty to Iowa State Cyclones. Looks like they're going to kick for touch. So it'll be a Cyclone throw-in from the line out. Got about 14, 15 minutes to go. CJ Baker's in for Tate Nelson, number 3. There's a kick out of trouble there by the Cyclones. Picked up by Darryl Couch. He's looking to... Oh, he's well wrapped up there. That's good defence by the Cyclones. Picked up, I think that was a knock forward. Oh, we're in touch maybe. Difficult to see from our commentary position here on the far side there. I think it's a line out. It'll be a Cyclone ball. Iowa Central Tritons 22. The Cyclones 12. They've got about 10, 11 minutes left of this second home game for the Tritons. Had a very tough match last week. They played Lindenwood Bellevue last week. Good learning experience that was. One of the best programs in the country. And they were wonderful hosts up there too, Lindenwood. Beautiful campus. Good rugby school. We had a great time up there. Cyclones have possession. Recycling it back through their forwards. That's good counter-rucking though by the Tritons. Forcing them back. Cyclones have the ball. Looking to run gaps. Cyclones have possession. Good tackling. He's down. The Cyclones need to recycle this. They have done. Tritons need to tackle hard. Scrappy play. There's a knock on there by the Cyclones though. That'll be Triton ball. Some substitutes happening here for the Cyclones. Referee stops the clock for a moment. You want to make sure you get your value for money. All 40 minutes, so the referee will stop his clock during substitutions. Triton still leading by 10 points. There's about 8 minutes to go. Willie's got the ball out wide. He's been caught. He's been caught. There's Brandon Egger. Making good ground, running hard. Needs some support now though. There's Victor. Rashid Carney making ground. Now Victor Wong again. Good driving by Victor. Should be Triton ball. Rucked well by the Cyclones though. That's been stolen. That's been stolen. Hard tackles going in by the Tritons. Very physical game out there at the moment. These two sides hitting each other very hard. Strong running again by the Cyclones. Recycling the ball. Cyclones on the attack. Spun out wide. That's a good tackle by Jarek. Up and counter-rucking straight away. Cyclones come again. Big long looping pass. Cyclones might have numbers here. Might have numbers. That's a good tackle by Willie. And again by Jarek. And another tackle by Jarek. That's good work. Now the Tritons need to hustle for that ball. Cyclones are defending it well. Should be Cyclone ball. Good strong tackle. That'll be a penalty. Need to wrap up in the tackles. This will be a kick for touch by the Cyclones. And found touch. That's a good 20 metre gain for the kick, and it'll be a Cyclone throw in at the line out. The Tritons under pressure in the last 6-7 minutes here. So knock on by Romello. Referee's playing advantage though. The Cyclones could be in here. I think he's in for a try. That's a score. That's a score. That's closing the gap. 5 points scored. 22-17. Extra points are available to close that gap too. If they make the kick, that's a 3-point game. We're in the last 5 minutes. He's pulled it to the left, missed the kick. So they left 2 points out there, unfortunately. So it's 22 to the Tritons and 17 to the Iowa State Cyclones. 5 points is the gap. Makes it interesting this last 5 minutes. Tritons are at home. They want to extend this little unbeaten run they've been on with the 4-year schools in Iowa. They've had success over Iowa and Iowa State and UNI in the last 8 to 10 weeks. Played all those teams away from home. This is the first rematch. Iowa State have come up here for some revenge. They're playing hard rugby. Ali Mohammed with the restart. Trying to get some Tritons underneath this ball. It's a good kickoff. Well tapped back by Willie. There's Brandon Egger setting up the ruck. This needs to be Triton ball. Romello Webster driving forward. Got support there. Nate Heath is on. Ali Mohammed spins it out. There's Rashid Khani taking the contact. There's Jarek. Spilt the ball in the tackle though. Thrown forward in the tackle. That'll be a Iowa Cyclone scrum down. Number 9 in the Cyclone shirt, in the Triton shirt there, Brock Reeves has just come on as a substitute. He's been a star player this season. Had a couple of injuries, but back stronger and better. He's stepping out, looks like into the fly half role. Normally plays scrum half. Good passer with the ball, good runner. Very athletic young man. Looks like we've got a Triton throw in. Ben Hale with the throw. We're down to the last 3 minutes of the game. CJ joining the line out. They want to catch this and maybe drive. Not straight. Cyclones get a choice now. They can either have a line out. The referee's giving them a free kick. The Tritons need to retreat. The Cyclones will take this quickly. There's not a lot of time on the clock. Oh, drop forward there. That'll be an advantage. Referee's playing advantage at the moment. The Tritons can take this and go forward. No, awarded, not rolling away. Not rolling away from that tackle zone. Referees awarded the Tritons a penalty. Romello kick for touch. And that'll be a Triton throw-in from that penalty. We're down to the last 2 minutes of the game. Still a 5-point game. Tritons will need to be wary of any counter-attacks by the Cyclones. They're in good field position though, looking to counter score if they can. That's a good jump by Kamani McQueen. Brock Reeves out with the ball. There's Ali. Rashid Khani on the loop on the inside. Switch. Should be Triton ball. They can pick and go. There's Kamani helping someone out. That's totally legal. You're allowed to pull players out if they're interrupting with your play. It's been taken quickly. It's gone out to the backs. There's Jabari Leopold, strong running. Jarrett, and he's got Willie outside. Where can Willie go? Jarrett's there, and he's gone into touch. Well, they took it quickly, looking for gaps. Didn't find any. That'll be a Cyclone throw-in. We're creeping towards the last minute of the match. It's still Iowa Central Tritons 22, Iowa State University 17. Let's been a few stoppages for substitution, so I think referee's checked his watch once. Cyclones are on their own line. There's a kick out of defence. They've got Jabari back there and they've got Willie back there. Pressure's coming though. Pressure is coming. Jabari Leopold looking for a little gap. That was potentially a high tackle there. We'll see what happens with that. It's gone out to Darryl Couch. Good strong running. He cut inside. It's taken two of them to stop him. That's good. That's Triton possession. Clearing guys out the ruck. There's some strong running. There's Brandon Egger. Good boy. Look at that. Wonderful. Shoulder down. Forcing those Cyclones backwards. Triton's playing hard today. Counter rucking there by the Cyclones. And a penalty given to the Tritons. We're pretty much, I think, towards the time-up situation. Referee's had a second look at his watch. We've had a few substitution stoppages, but other than that, very little injury time. Romello Webster with a kick to touch. Safe touch found. It'll be a Triton throw-in. Last minute of the game. We're almost in that. Clock's ticking down now. It's now or never for the Cyclones. Tritons need to be big and strong. Take this ball. Wind down the last few seconds. Stolen by the Cyclones. Out to their backs. They've got numbers this side. Willie with the tackle. He needs to counter ruck if he can. Ball spilled out into touch. Iowa Central posted the mark. Call for the line out. It's going to be a Cyclone throw-in. Last seconds of the game. Last seconds of the game. Ball's in. That wasn't straight. And the Tritons call for a scrum. Referee checks his watch again. I agree with the referee, we should just keep playing. Great day for rugby. Brock Reeves caught there by the Iowa State scrum half. They've hustled well. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. They're taking it quickly. Got to get up and tackle. Cyclones are coming. Stolen by the Tritons. It's with Darryl Couch. Can he find a gap? Can he find a gap? Can he go? Can he go all the way? I think he is. Looking to get under the posts. And he has done. That's the hat trick for Darryl Couch. Another 5 points for the Iowa Central Tritons. It's 27-17. And that's the third try of the game for Darryl Speed Demon Couch. He cut in beautifully there. One of the quickest players I've ever seen on a rugby field. Runs direct, but runs and cuts so well. Sidesteps people. He's got a great centre of gravity. That should seal the game up for the Tritons. Extra points are available. Ali Mohammed with a kick right in front of the posts. Again, because Darryl placed the ball down in the try zone under the posts, you get to take the kick from there. The wind's almost died down. The crowd are expectant. We'd love the 2 extra points if we can get it. Ali, and the kick is good. And there's the extra points, and the referee blows for the end of the game. Final score here is the Iowa Central Tritons 29, Iowa State Cyclones 17. Well done the Tritons, and well done the Cyclones for coming up to Fort Dodge. Great day for rugby. A lot of friends and family out here watching. Thoroughly entertaining match. Thank you all for listening. We had a great time here. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of rugby. And to all the fans back in the UK, swing low, sweet chariots.